Hey there, fellow gardeners. I know what you're thinking. Stop using manure. Has she lost her mind? Trust me, I had the same reaction when I first discovered what I'm about to share with you, but after seeing my tomato yields jump from modest to absolutely mind-blowing, I knew I had to let you in on this game-changing November soil secret that's been hiding in plain sight. For generations, we've been told that manure is the gold standard for building healthy, productive soil, and don't get me wrong, there's nothing inherently bad about well-composted manure, but here's the thing most gardening books won't tell you: manure is actually holding your garden back from reaching its true potential. It's high in nitrogen, sure, but it's creating an imbalanced soil ecosystem that your plants are literally crying out to escape from. I spent years dumping wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of composted manure into my beds every fall, wondering why my neighbor's garden always seemed more vibrant than mine, despite using what looked like way less fertilizer. The answer? She wasn't feeding her plants at all. She was feeding her soil's microbiome, and that makes all the difference in the world. November is absolutely magical for soil building, and most gardeners completely miss this window of opportunity. As temperatures drop and your summer plants fade away, something remarkable happens beneath the surface. Your soil microbes are preparing for their winter slowdown, but they're still active enough to process organic matter. This is the sweet spot we've been waiting for all year. During this transitional period, your soil is like a sponge, ready to absorb and integrate nutrients in a way that simply doesn't happen during the growing season. The cooler temperatures slow down nutrient leaching, meaning everything you add now stays put and becomes available exactly when your spring plants need it most. Think of November as your soil's loading phase, where you're setting up a slow-release nutrient bank that will pay dividends for the next 8 to 10 months. Here's the secret that tripled my harvest, and I'm not exaggerating even a little bit: winter cover crops combined with a specific November planting technique. Instead of letting your beds sit bare or dumping manure on top, you're going to plant a strategic mix of cover crops that work like underground factories, manufacturing exactly what your soil needs. My go-to November mix includes crimson clover, winter rye, and hairy vetch. These three plants work together like a perfectly choreographed team. The crimson clover fixes nitrogen from the air, turning it into plant-available nutrients without the salt buildup and pathogen risks that come with manure. Winter rye sends roots down deep, sometimes as far as 6 feet, breaking up compacted soil and bringing up minerals that have been locked away in your subsoil for years. And hairy vetch, it's your insurance policy, providing additional nitrogen fixation and creating a lush green manure that you'll chop and drop in early spring. The magic happens when you plant these in early to mid-November. You want to get them in the ground about 4 to 6 weeks before your first hard freeze. This gives them enough time to germinate and establish roots before winter really sets in. Come spring, you'll have a thick living carpet covering your beds, and here's where it gets really exciting. About 3 to 4 weeks before you want to plant your spring crops, you're going to cut down your cover crops right at soil level. Don't pull them up, and whatever you do, don't till them in. Just chop them down and let them lay right on top of the soil like a thick green blanket. This is where the real magic happens, and it's so much better than manure, it's not even funny. As these fresh green plants break down, they release nutrients slowly and steadily, perfectly timed with your transplant's growing needs. Unlike manure, which can release nutrients in unpredictable bursts and potentially burn your plants, this green mulch creates a steady drip feed system that your plants can access exactly when they need it. The decomposing cover crops also feed your soil's fungal network, which is absolutely crucial for nutrient uptake and disease resistance. I've measured the difference in my own garden using a simple soil test kit, and honestly, the results shocked me. My beds that used this November cover crop method showed nitrogen levels that were 30% higher than my manure-amended beds, but more importantly, the nitrogen was in a more stable, plant-available form. My phosphorus and potassium levels were also significantly better, and I had practically zero weed pressure because that thick mulch layer suppressed everything. Let's talk about why this method is actually superior to traditional manure applications because, understanding the science will help you implement this successfully. Manure, even when well composted, tends to be high in salts and can contain pathogens, weed seeds, and antibiotic residues if it comes from conventional farms. It's also incredibly nitrogen-heavy, which sounds good until you realize that excess nitrogen actually reduces fruit production in favor of leafy growth. Cover crops, on the other hand, create what soil scientists call liquid carbon pathways. When those roots die back in winter and early spring, they leave behind channels filled with easily digestible organic matter that feeds beneficial microbes. These microbes then produce exudates, which are basically plant food in its most bioavailable form. Your vegetables can access these nutrients immediately, without the delay and loss that occurs when breaking down manure. The root systems of cover crops also host mycorrhizal fungi, which form symbiotic relationships with your vegetable plants. These fungi extend your plant's root systems by up to 700 times, allowing them to access water and nutrients that would otherwise be completely out of reach. Manure doesn't build these fungal networks. In fact, high nitrogen amendments can actually suppress them. If you're reading this and it's already November, you're in luck because you can start right now. Head to your local farm supply store or order online and get yourself some crimson clover, winter rye, and hairy vetch seeds. You'll need about 2 ounces of each per 100 square feet of garden space. Mix them together in a bucket so you get an even distribution of all 3 species. Prepare your beds by removing any plant debris from the summer season, but don't dig or till. Just lightly rake the surface to create some texture. Broadcast your cover crop seeds evenly across the bed, then rake again very gently to incorporate them slightly into the top quarter-inch of soil. Water them in well if rain isn't forecast within the next couple of days, and then let nature do its thing. Through winter, you'll see these crops go dormant but not die. Come early spring, they'll green up again before anything else in your garden, and that's when you know you've got a nitrogen factory running at full capacity. The transformation in your soil structure, nutrient availability, and overall plant health will be immediately noticeable when you start planting. If you try this method, I want to hear about your results. Subscribe to Grow with Soil for more game-changing gardening techniques that actually work, and share this article with your gardening friends who are ready to break free from the manure myth. Let's build healthier soil together, one November at a time. Your best harvest ever is just one planting season away.